It's with great pleasure that I introduce Justin Ryan. He's the Managing Director of Glow Capital Partners. Justin has been a private equity investor for the last 30 years, starting with Catalyst and then over to Quadrant. He's now a co-owner of Glow Capital, which you started and founded, correct? Fantastic. I'd love to hear more about that. So you've led or co-led investments of over $1.5 billion in 22 private equity transactions and have had a return of over 3.9 billion, which is a huge multiple. And I'm guessing your investors are pretty happy with what you do. But more than that, your transactions and the people that you worked with would be very pleased with the outcomes because it means for them that their business has been able to grow, which is a huge focus for us at CapTech. So I'd love to know, Justin, with these decades that you've been leading investments across multiple organizations, what are the key factors that consistently drive success in identifying, scaling, and exiting high performance businesses?
Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, I've been involved in 26 private equity deals over that period of time. Actually, I took a little period out and ran a public company in that background there, which was great learning for me as well. It was a diversified industrial company. So, yeah, have been involved in 26 private equity deals and the exit of 21 over that period of time. So actually, there's only one that I haven't exited in my previous life at Quadrant and Catalyst, and we've got four new investments that we've made at Glow. So yeah, there is some learning in all of that. I think firstly, we spend a lot of time looking for the right business, and the right business is a business that we see as attractive, as a business that will endure and grow over time. But obviously, being in an attractive industry and having a business that's got attractive unit economics is one thing. Probably some history is helpful as well, but also having a great founder or management team is absolutely key. And then I think for us as a private equity firm, it's more around then what is the sort of unlock. What we often find is that a business founder has all their capital tied up in the business, and that sometimes means that they're quite conservative in the way they run it. It's probably exhausting for them. They've probably spent many years doing it at great personal cost, and put a huge amount of time and effort into building the business and the brand and love the people that are in it. And we come along and sort of say, here's an opportunity perhaps to take some capital off the table, and that we find sometimes changes their risk profile, so they're a bit more open-minded to sort of growth initiatives. So often we come along and help them unlock a new or a big idea. The other thing that we can help with too is when we get involved, usually the business is able to attract some great new talent as well. And then it's really around having a great partnership and together taking that business to the next level and creating something special. And so I think if I reflect on those 26 deals, it's when there's a great business combined with good founders and then a great partnership that's led to creating a great amount of value for everyone.
Yeah, I love that unlocking that untapped potential, which, yeah, you're right. It is often there with founders and business owners, but they're just at the tilt and just can't get to that point. So it's great to have that partner. And it is about partnerships at the end of the day, isn't it?
It sure is.
So you've also built a strong portfolio in e-commerce and digital sectors, backing standouts like Adore Beauty, Quadlock, and Modibody, and more recently, e-commerce Equation. Take us through the experience of scaling a digital first company with the competitive market.
Yeah, look, I have been involved in scaling some of those digital first companies like Adore Beauty and Quadlock in particular, and Modibody. There was an element of that was a moment in time, particularly I sort of invested in those businesses at or around the time of COVID, where online really did go mad. I think it is still a very, very powerful lever, but I think we're a bit more circumspect about digital first companies. We don't mind digital first, but we don't want digital to be the only channel for a business that we're investing in. And in fact, we more often than not come across businesses that could do more from a digital perspective or an online perspective. And part of our value add is helping them do that and unlocking sales and value as a result of that. More recently, as part of our existing portfolio at Glow, we've invested in a business called E-commerce Equation, which really has a portfolio of, has a number, 3,000 members, most of which are digital first founders actually. And we help them bring their digital customer acquisition strategies in-house rather than using an agency. And the lesson there is we're actually the biggest Meta partner in Australia, and in fact, top 20 Meta partners in the world. So we see a lot going on in that space. Bottom line is it's changing dramatically. I saw a post today, someone talking about ChatGPT. That may end up disrupting Google. There's a lot of change going on. And just think about it. If you're contemplating doing something for Black Friday, it is literally a black box how you do that. And we are experts in taking companies through that and learning how to take advantage of that. So I think one thing I'd say about the digital or the online world is it's moving fast. What worked last year may not work this year. And it really gets back to being a partner that can help point you in the right direction to find the right partners to help you do that, and the right strategies to take advantage of opportunities in online, because they are huge, but it's a very dynamic marketplace. But you really have to be part of it if you really want to get ahead. And the thing about that part of the market is you really can get ahead and really do so globally if you want to. So that is another unlock, Sarah, we think, for our partners.
No, I love that. And that's very much the focus that we have at CapTech, that global mindset for growth. And, I personally believe, and I know it's part of our vision, is that for Australian businesses to grow where we need to grow to sustain what we are, where we are in our economy, it does have to have that global outlook and that export outlook, whether it's a product or digital. We are liking to foster those curated and strategic introductions, which it sounds like, you're pretty much doing what we do from a PE perspective. So, connecting founders and investment opportunities and growth opportunities. And this alignment really helps us to engage our people that we work with at CapTech. So tell us a little bit more about how you do value creation and market impact.
Yeah, look, I think we the fit for the partnership is absolutely critical. And I think what you want is a partnership where you're working with a founder and there is mutual respect. The founder has huge value to add, and hopefully you can add value as well. And each party recognizes that, and together you go on to create something great. I think chemistry is really important. And I think what you want is a partner that's there for the good times and for the bad. And it's building those long-term relationships that really count. There's got to be trust between the parties, and that trust needs to be earned. So I think, as I mentioned, I've sort of been in those partnerships 26 times. What I do is offer the telephone numbers of all those past partners as a referee for new partners. And I think having some experience and having that network of value add, that is what is a real differentiator when trying to find and build long-term partnerships.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that's really important to build that trust, that relationship, and it does take time and it takes effort, and it is about being there. Sometimes it's about being there in the negative and the hard parts more than the positive parts. They're the bits that you remember. So look, you're coming to CapTech, which we're really excited to have and welcome you along. What are the 3 takeaways you would want people to take away from being at CapTech?
Well, I think for me, in terms of that partnership, and perhaps it it's got some implications for on the investment side as well. But in terms of founders, I think the main point is that finding the right partner is critical, and the chemistry, the value add, the different taking time to get that right is more important than necessarily how much money is there up front. Because I think very much the way we work is it's a two-step relationship. It's not just about the price coming in, but it's about what can be achieved at the end. And I think so many times over those 26 transactions, the final transaction and that final exit has been more than a multiple of that first investment. So it's really about what we can become rather than the here and now of the upfront transaction at the entry point. And basically, we're all aligned because when we invest, that's our starting point in terms of value. So we've got to grow value from that point anyway. So and part of that's legacy as well. So it's not just about the money; it's about the legacy. And the greatest reward for me is to see our partners go on to do great things and to build great business and long-standing brands that will remembered long after we're involved. And part of our challenge is to get in to create long-term value, not short-term value. So for me, the lesson is find the right partner in terms of the right chemistry, focus on the future and what that future outcome could be and what you're looking for, and then finally think about, as a founder, what you want as your legacy in the context of finding the right partner, because what I find founders are really concerned about is what happens to their business after they're gone and what happens to their people after they're gone. So that's what it's all about. Making a great return is a byproduct of building a great business with great people.
Very true. Very true. I like that. The gold is in the outsource of the output of the mine. You'll probably get to hear about. But I'm really looking forward to all those values adds that you're going to bring to CapTech, because that's exactly what we would want everyone to achieve, is that relationship, that long-term value, their aligned values. But yeah, the idea is you get profitable at the end because of the outcomes of being aligned together.
Well, if we can create something fantastic, then the rewards will take care of themselves.
Very true. Very true. Well, I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person and getting everyone to get to have a chat to you. So we really welcome that you're coming to CapTech. See you there.
Likewise, Sarah. Looking forward to spending more time with you as well.
Yeah, definitely.